And I'm not sure if I'm Derrick Rose, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. Thinking about my future and thinking about my legacy, and I'm wondering what's on his mind, as are the fans. Does he want to come back? He says that he does, but it doesn't make sense for him to come back, knowing that the Bulls do not have much of a shot. And how much, as a competitor, would he push himself in order to do everything that he possibly can if indeed he does come back? Basically, risking another injury. That's all I have to say about the Bulls, who they're gonna have to get a little better. Joakim Noah, he's leading the team. He's playing his ass off, basically. For those who caught the Bulls a couple of days ago or a day ago, about Coach Thibodeau not resting players like he should, he's dead on with that. And as a result, he spent a lot of time on the bench yesterday. So that's pretty much it about the Bulls. When we come back, I want to talk briefly about what's going on with both baseball teams. The Chicago Fire had an inauspicious debut, and March Madness is around the corner. What's going on with college basketball? You're listening to Curbside with Ernest James. I'll be right back.
Start getting the football out and throw it around the backyard with Pops.
Hey, little man. Instead of sitting down on your couch doing nothing, why don't you take the time out to listen to Curbside with Ernest James before I dunk on your head? Did I tell you that I was listening to something on the radio one day, and the fella just he sounded very very interesting and very enlightening. I think it was oh yeah, it was Curbside with Ernest James. Something about sports talk should always be shared amongst friends. So I decided to tell my friends about it, and now we all sit down and we listen to Curbside with Ernest James on Spreaker Radio or Spreaker.com. And I'm back. How's everyone doing? You're listening to Curbside with Ernest James. I am Ernest James. I am co-host and sports contributor of Our Town with Chicago Progressive Talks Mike Sanders. I am the Chicago Bulls feature columnist for theBleacherReport.com. I'm also one of the sport writing contributors for Sportsnet, which is found on ibtimes.com. I am a Chicago Now blogger, primarily love, relationships, and how people deal with each other. Every once in a while, I may post something in regards to something fun and interesting, such as a poetry slam. If you haven't heard, if you're from the Chicagoland area or different other areas, the Louder Than the Bomb Poetry Festival is going on. They're getting ready to begin their individual finals this Wednesday in Chicago at 78 East Washington Street, and it starts from 7 till 9. And the team finale is going to be this Saturday at the Cadillac Palace. That's 151 West Randolph Street, and that's from 6 till 9. If you're a poetry lover, get there. We were talking about at the end of right before the brief break, we were talking about the Chicago Bulls, and I'm hoping that, whatever Derrick Rose decide based on his future, not the current state of the team, but at the same time, don't allow yourself to be a distraction. I wanted to get that out there. I should have got out there before I went to a brief break. But that being said, we're in the beginning of March. Spring training is going on. You have the World Baseball Classic that's getting ready to happen. The Cubs look okay. The White Sox look okay. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts about both baseball teams? What side of the fence are you on? Are you a South Sider or are you a North Sider? And do you believe with what Baseball Prospectus had to say, and that both teams will win 77 games this year? I tend to believe that the White Sox with the pitching that they have, John Banks coming back healthy. If they can get a great season out of Jake Peavy, if Chris Sale can build on his Cy Young contending performance of last season, Carlos Quintana can play well, can pitch well. Addison Reed, who starts the season as the de facto closer. What are you going to get from Paul Konerko? He's a free agent at the end of the season. Is this his last ride? Another question mark that they have is Alex Rios. Is he going to have the same season as he had last season? Last season, he was by far the White Sox best everyday player. What's going to happen with Adam Dunn? Can he get his batting average to 240, 245? And can he maintain that torrid pace where he can flirt with hitting 35 home runs? If those questions are answered and you get a resounding yes, or you get a lot of positive information, the White Sox can do better than third place in the Central Division. They can do better than 77 wins. Not that I didn't believe that they would do better than 77 wins anyway. If you follow baseball prospectus, and I give them a little bit of attention, only because I'm curious as to see what outside observers have to say in regards to the teams that I follow. But if you've noticed, they've been wrong about the White Sox ever since the World Series season in 2005. The White Sox have the best pitching in their division. They have one of the best bullpens in their division. Matt Thornton hasn't gone anywhere. They picked up Matt Lindstrom, who's a hell of a setup man. And if he can play, if he can pitch the way that he did for San Francisco, not bad. My prediction for the White Sox, I know the season hasn't started yet, but my prediction, I have them winning 87, 88, 89 wins. And not winning the division. I still see Detroit winning the division, but I see the White Sox as one of the two wild card teams. Thank you, Bud Selig. As far as the Cubs are concerned, Jorge Soler has been playing well. He's been a revelation so far in spring training. Some of the disturbing news, unfortunately, comes on the side of pitching, where with Matt Garza and his lat muscle injury, he's going to start the season on the disabled list. And Jeff Samardzija is going to get the nod as the opening day starter. With Garza being hurt, that already puts the Cubs back a little bit. But for some reason, I believe that the team that they're going to put out on the field can do better and will do better than 77 wins. I like what I've seen from Rizzo. I like what I've seen from Soles, who will not make the everyday roster. He'll probably start the season down in the minor leagues, but it's a sign of the future. I like what I've seen from Samardzija. Have you seen Samardzija's pitches? Yes, he's added two to his arsenal that was not there his entire career. And he looks like he may have the stuff to be a number one starter, which is amazing. Edwin Jackson provides a little bit of stability to a pitching staff that needs it. One of the drawbacks with the pitching staff, unfortunately, is the fact that they're going to have four new faces. And that does not include Samardzija. So you're going to have Samardzija, Jackson, and a couple of other guys. I'm not sure what order they're going to be in, but they would be a lot stronger with a healthy Garza in the fold. But my prediction, briefly, for them is 83, 84 wins, which some Cubs fans might find that surprising. But I trust in what Theo Epstein and Jed Hoyer have done. Switching gears, time's almost up. Hope you've enjoyed it. You're listening to Curbside with Ernest James. You can follow me on Twitter at Ernest Shepherd, or you can like the Facebook page, The Ernest James Theory. And if you have anything that you wanted me to talk about, or if you disagree with me, feel free to tweet me. Feel free to drop a line on the Facebook page, whatever you're comfortable with. we can have a toe-to-toe. I try my best to get with you with a timely response. Hope that you're enjoying what you're hearing thus far. Um, the Chicago Fire, who once again I have the pleasure of covering this season. They had their season opener in LA versus the Galaxy, and it was not a very good performance. Looks like the team they're going to have a little bit of growing together. Starting off the season on the road has never been pleasant. It's never pleasant for any team. It has to start off the season on the road. You know, a 4-0 loss to the Galaxy is not what anyone had ever imagined for this team as the season was coming to a beginning. Um, I saw a lot of bad defense. I saw a lot of misplaced players walking aimlessly on the field. There was not much Sean Johnson could do once he got hit with the second goal. That's when the Galaxy hit them with a barrage of goals. The referees kind of put their yellow cards in their pockets. They didn't call many fouls in the way of the Fire. Not that they should expect any favors, but at the same time, you know, give the team a break. There was one play in particular where I watched one of the Galaxy players literally step on Patrick Nyarko, and Nyarko was down for a little bit. And was he carded? Absolutely not. Was there a foul on the play? Absolutely not. And it just goes to show you how sometimes the refereeing in soccer and in other sports can be a little uneven, but I'm expecting better from them. And they have their home opener this Saturday at Toyota Park. I shall be there, and hopefully I'll be able to report live. We'll see about that. Um, March Madness is around the corner. You have some of the tournament championships going on this week. Conferences like the Horizon League, smaller conferences, they're having their tourneys this week to see who's going to be the one team or the sacrificial lamb for all of the big dogs of college basketball, if you consider any of those teams the big dogs. Gonzaga is finally, for the first time in their school history, the number one team in the men's basketball poll. That doesn't mean that they're favorites to win it all, but to me they're one of the favorites, along with Indiana, who looks good. Duke looks okay. I'm still not greatly impressed. Miami looks pretty good. Michigan State, they all look good. My sleeper pick is the Florida Gators. I really love what Billy Donovan does with his program down there, and hopefully I'll be able to bring you a March Madness preview as the week progresses and as the contenders start separating themselves from the pretenders. Um, we shall see. But just a sign of things to come on Curbside with Ernest James. I hope you enjoyed what you've listened to. I'm Ernest James. My time is up. I'm out. You all stay easy.